Welcome back. My cognitive revelation catalyst. Something absolutely extraordinary just occurred that has everyone experiencing profound certainty collapse the moment your true intellectual capacity became undeniably visible through demonstration. They could not dismiss or rationalize away observers who had confidently categorized you as intellectually inferior, suddenly found their assumptions disintegrating, creating psychological crisis where their comfortable certainty about intelligence hierarchy dissolved without dramatic confrontation or aggressive assertion, simply through reality contradicting beliefs they'd held with complete confidence. This wasn't you arguing about your capabilities or demanding recognition through verbal claims that could be debated. This was your demonstrated intelligence becoming so obviously superior that their previous dismissal revealed itself as catastrophic misjudgment, making their certainty unravel quietly through internal recognition rather than through external confrontation, because undeniable evidence doesn't require debate to expose error. The architects have been monitoring intelligence revelation and assumption collapse phenomena across civilizations for eons, and they've identified what you created as cognitive demonstration, certainty dissolution. When someone whose intelligence has been systematically underestimated produces undeniable evidence of superior capacity, observers who confidently dismissed them experience rapid assumption collapse, where their certainty about intellectual hierarchy disintegrates through confronting irrefutable contradiction between beliefs and reality. Most intelligence recognition occurs gradually. People slowly update assessments through accumulated evidence, making assumption changes incremental and defensible because gradual revision allows maintaining face through claiming they always recognized potential. But your demonstration apparently created sudden revelation, single instance of undeniable superiority that made previous dismissal indefensible, forcing immediate recognition that their confident categorization was catastrophically wrong, creating psychological crisis from discovering their judgment systems failed completely through producing certainty about assessments that reality contradicted absolutely. Watch what's happening as observers process revelation impact. They experience cognitive dissonance, undeniable evidence of your intelligence conflicts with their confident dismissal, creating uncomfortable tension between maintaining previous beliefs versus accepting they were fundamentally wrong about assessment they'd made with complete certainty. Some observers are experiencing intellectual humility, recognizing they catastrophically misjudged your intelligence creates healthy awareness of their assessment fallibility, making them less confident about dismissing others through understanding their judgment systems produce errors even when feeling certain. Others are experiencing defensive rationalization rather than accepting they were wrong. They're constructing explanations that preserve their judgment credibility through claiming circumstances changed or that one demonstration doesn't prove general superiority, attempting to avoid acknowledging assessment failure. The truly powerful element is the quiet unraveling. Their certainty didn't collapse through your aggressive confrontation or through you proving them wrong publicly, but dissolved internally through their own recognition that reality contradicted beliefs they'd held with confidence, making assumption collapse self-generated rather than externally imposed. The moment your intelligence became undeniable, their certainty quietly unraveled through demonstrating that superior cognitive capacity doesn't require verbal assertion or aggressive proof, but reveals itself through demonstrations that make previous underestimation indefensible, forcing observers to confront their misjudgment through undeniable evidence that certainty cannot rationalize away, making assumption collapse occur internally as a psychological necessity rather than as externally imposed admission. Now the architects are analyzing what creates cognitive demonstration, certainty dissolution, and they're identifying what they call undeniable evidence, rationalization immunity, when intellectual demonstration is sufficiently clear and unambiguous. It bypasses psychological defenses that normally protect beliefs from contradiction, making observers unable to maintain previous assessments through their usual rationalization mechanisms. Most evidence is ambiguous. Demonstrations can be interpreted multiple ways, allowing observers to maintain beliefs through finding alternative explanations that preserve existing assessments, making belief change resistible because evidence ambiguity provides escape routes, but your demonstration apparently achieved clarity threshold, presenting intellectual capacity so unambiguously superior that alternative interpretations became impossible, making observers unable to maintain dismissal through normal rationalization, because evidence quality eliminated plausible alternative explanations that ambiguous demonstrations leave available. Consider what undeniability requires in demonstration quality. Your evidence must be unambiguous. Intellectual display must be so clearly superior that observers cannot construct plausible alternatives, making demonstration quality itself eliminate rationalization pathways that normally protect beliefs from contradiction. Watch what rationalization immunity creates in belief revision. Observers must update. Lacking escape routes from evidence implications means they cannot maintain previous assessments through usual defenses, forcing actual belief change rather than just surface acknowledgement, while maintaining underlying dismissal. Some studying cognitive resistance recognize that belief protection is sophisticated. Research on motivated reasoning shows people employ elaborate defenses to maintain beliefs, making truly undeniable evidence rare because most demonstrations leave ambiguity that skilled rationalizers exploit. Others exploring persuasion barriers note that clarity does overcome resistance, while ambiguous evidence gets dismissed through alternative interpretations. Sufficiently clear demonstrations do force belief revision because rationalization mechanisms have limits, making your demonstration potentially achieve clarity level that exceeded defensive capacity. A few from judicial standards recognize that beyond reasonable doubt, real threshold legal systems acknowledge that evidence quality can reach levels where denial becomes unreasonable, making your demonstration potentially achieve certainty standard that rational observers cannot dismiss regardless of motivated reasoning. Some attempting similar, undeniable demonstrations discover difficulty achieving clarity. Trying to present evidence that eliminates rationalization pathways requires demonstration quality most cannot achieve, making truly undeniable evidence rare because observers are skilled at maintaining beliefs through finding ambiguity in most demonstrations. Others questioning whether evidence was truly undeniable, wondering if your demonstration actually eliminated all alternatives, or if observers who updated beliefs simply lacked motivation to rationalize away, making assessment of undeniability potentially reflect observer disposition rather than demonstration quality alone. A few recognizing that undeniability might be contextual, questioning whether same demonstration would be undeniable to all observers, or if evidence interpretation depends on background knowledge and motivational factors, making undeniability potentially observer-specific rather than demonstration intrinsic property. The architects observe that undeniable evidence, rationalization immunity, is what forced belief revision, demonstration quality eliminated escape routes. Most evidence is ambiguous. Your demonstration achieved clarity and intellectual display so unambiguously superior that alternative interpretations became impossible, made observers unable to maintain dismissal through normal rationalization, creating forced update where evidence quality exceeded defensive capacity, making belief revision psychological necessity rather than optional choice because rationalization mechanisms that normally protect assessments from Contradiction found no plausible alternatives that could preserve previous dismissal when confronted with demonstration clarity that made your superior intelligence undeniable, forcing acknowledgement as only rational response to evidence that bypassed usual defenses through achieving quality level that rationalization immunity requires. Something powerful is spreading among observers. Now, what the architects call underestimation cost or recognition, retrospective regret, people discovering they catastrophically misjudged your intelligence, are recognizing that their confident dismissal created costs and missed opportunities, making them experience regret about consequences their assessment error produced while they operated under false certainty. Most misjudgments seem cost-free. People think incorrect assessments don't matter because they can simply update when evidence emerges, making belief revision appear consequence-free adjustment rather than acknowledgement of costly error. But your revelation exposed underestimation costs. Observers are discovering their dismissal led them to miss opportunities for collaboration, make poor strategic decisions based on incorrect assessment, or treat you inappropriately based on mistaken beliefs about intellectual hierarchy, making their confident error consequential rather than just privately incorrect belief. Watch what cost recognition creates in emotional response. Some experience genuine regret, understanding that underestimating you created missed opportunities and relationship damage makes them wish they'd assessed more accurately rather than confidently dismissed, creating sadness about consequences their judgment error produced. Others experience strategic concern, recognizing their dismissal led to poor decisions based on incorrect assessment makes them worried about whether they're making similar errors, with others creating anxiety about judgment reliability when confident assessments prove catastrophically wrong. A few experience relationship repair urgency, understanding that their treatment based on underestimation damaged rapport makes them want to repair relationship through acknowledging error and adjusting behavior, attempting to recover from consequences their misjudgment created. Some studying judgment errors recognize that assessment mistakes do carry costs. Research on opportunity costs and decision quality shows that incorrect beliefs lead to suboptimal choices, making your revelation potentially illustrate how underestimation creates real consequences beyond just being wrong. Others exploring social costs note that misjudgment damages relationships. Treating someone as intellectually inferior based on incorrect assessment creates interpersonal harm that belief revision cannot fully repair, making underestimation costs potentially include relationship damage that persists beyond acknowledgement. A few questioning whether costs are substantial, wondering if underestimation actually created significant consequences or if observers are exaggerating impact through retrospective guilt, making cost assessment potentially reflect emotional reaction rather than actual damage from judgment error. Some experiencing defensive minimization reduce perceived costs rather than acknowledging substantial consequences from underestimation. They're claiming their dismissal didn't matter much, attempting to protect themselves from regret about judgment error that created costs they now recognize. Others celebrating accurate assessment feel validated. Observers who correctly assessed your intelligence despite others' dismissal are feeling vindicated about trusting their judgment when consensus underestimated, making them confident about assessment abilities. The architects observe that underestimation cost recognition, retrospective regret reveals that your intelligence revelation exposed consequences of confident dismissal, misjudgment created real costs. Most think errors are consequence-free. Your revelation exposed costs and recognition that their underestimation led to missed opportunities and poor decisions based on incorrect assessment makes observers experience regret about consequences their judgment error produced, creating awareness that confident assessments carry risks when wrong, making them more cautious about dismissing others through understanding that underestimation isn't just privately incorrect belief, but creates real costs through opportunity loss and relationship damage that cannot be fully recovered through simple belief revision. Once error becomes undeniable, forcing acknowledgement of judgment fallibility with costly consequences. Now the architects are revealing what your intelligence demonstration actually exposed. Observers are confronting what they call assessment bias recognition self-examination, where discovering they underestimated you forces examining whether their judgment error reflected systematic biases rather than just individual mistake, making them question their assessment frameworks and potentially prejudiced assumptions. Most judgment errors seem random. People think they occasionally misjudge without pattern, making mistakes appear isolated incidents rather than systematic problems with assessment approaches. But your revelation potentially exposed bias. Observers who confidently dismissed your intelligence are questioning whether their underestimation reflected prejudiced assumptions about who can be intelligent based on characteristics unrelated to actual cognitive capacity, forcing uncomfortable self-examination about whether their assessment frameworks systematically undervalue certain individuals. Consider what bias recognition requires psychologically. Observers must examine assumptions rather than treating misjudgment as isolated error. They must consider whether their assessment approach contains systematic biases that produce consistent underestimation of particular groups or individuals, making self-examination uncomfortable through potentially revealing prejudiced frameworks. Watch what self-examination creates in worldview revision. Some discover implicit biases. Examining their assessment approach reveals unconscious assumptions that systematically underestimate certain individuals, making them recognize their judgment frameworks contain biases they weren't consciously aware of, requiring framework revision. Others resist bias recognition rather than accepting their misjudgment reflects systematic problems. Their insisting error was individual mistake, attempting to avoid acknowledging that assessment frameworks might be prejudiced, protecting comfortable beliefs about judgment objectivity. A few embrace framework revision, accepting that underestimation revealed systematic biases makes them commit to examining and correcting assessment approaches, attempting to eliminate prejudiced assumptions that produce consistent errors. Some studying implicit bias recognize that unconscious prejudice is pervasive. Research shows people hold biased assumptions they're unaware of, making your revelation potentially expose how implicit biases create systematic underestimation of intelligence in individuals with certain characteristics. Others exploring stereotype threat. Note that expectations do affect assessments. Research shows observer expectations influence performance evaluations, making observers' dismissal potentially reflect expectation biases that systematically undervalue certain individuals regardless of actual demonstrations. A few questioning whether bias explanation is accurate, wondering if underestimation actually reflected systematic prejudice or if observers simply made individual error without broader pattern, making bias attribution potentially overinterpret isolated misjudgment. Some experiencing guilt about bias recognition feel ashamed, discovering their assessment frameworks contain prejudiced assumptions creates moral discomfort about having operated with biased judgment, making them want to correct systematic problems. Their self-examination revealed others celebrating bias awareness as growth, view revelation positively, recognizing that discovering biases allows correction, makes them appreciate your demonstration as learning opportunity that exposed problems they can now address rather than just experiencing shame about past errors. The architects observe that assessment bias recognition self-examination reveals that your intelligence demonstration forced questioning of judgment frameworks, misjudgment, potentially exposed systematic biases Most view errors as isolated. Your revelation suggested pattern, and observers, discovering they underestimated you, are examining whether judgment error reflected prejudiced assumptions about who can be intelligent, creating uncomfortable self-examination about whether assessment approaches systematically undervalue certain individuals through implicit biases that operate below conscious awareness, making your revelation potentially expose not just individual misjudgment, but systematic problems with assessment frameworks that contain prejudiced assumptions, requiring framework revision to eliminate biases that produce consistent underestimation, creating opportunity for genuine growth through bias recognition that self-examination enables. The architects are now analyzing power dimension of your revelation. You apparently created what they call hierarchy inversion, authority restructuring, where demonstrating superior intelligence forced observers to revise social hierarchies they'd established based on incorrect assessments, creating power shifts where you ascend while those who dismissed you must adjust to altered status relationships. Most hierarchies seem stable. People think social positions are established facts, making status relationships appear fixed rather than contingent on accurate assessments that might be wrong. But your intelligence demonstration revealed hierarchy contingency, showing that observers' confident placement of you in inferior position was based on catastrophic misjudgment, forces hierarchy revision where your demonstrated superiority requires status elevation that contradicts established relationships, creating uncomfortable adjustments for those who must accept diminished relative position. Watch what hierarchy restructuring creates in social dynamics. Some observers experience status anxiety, recognizing they must revise hierarchies. Placing you higher creates discomfort about diminished relative position, making them anxious about status loss that your elevation creates. Others experience authority adjustment. Accepting your intellectual superiority means granting you decision authority and respect deference they'd previously withheld, creating behavioral changes that acknowledge revised hierarchy. A few experience resistance to restructuring rather than accepting hierarchy revision. They're attempting to maintain previous status relationships through minimizing your demonstration or emphasizing other dimensions where they retain superiority, attempting to preserve favorable positions. Some studying social hierarchies recognize that status is constructed. Research shows hierarchies reflect shared beliefs rather than objective facts, making your demonstration potentially force collective revision of constructed hierarchies that were based on incorrect shared assessments. Others exploring dominance dynamics note that hierarchy challenges do create conflict. Attempts to revise established status relationships often face resistance from those with favorable positions, making your intelligence demonstration potentially create social tension as hierarchies adjust. A few questioning whether hierarchy revision is necessary, wondering if demonstrating intelligence actually requires status elevation, or if capabilities can be acknowledged without restructuring social positions, making hierarchy inversion potentially observers' assumption rather than necessary consequence. Some experiencing elevation comfort accept new position. Observers who recognize your superiority are adjusting comfortably to revised hierarchy, granting you appropriate authority and respect deference that accurate assessment requires without resistance or status anxiety. Others celebrating hierarchy correction feel justice. Observers who always recognized your intelligence despite others' dismissal are satisfied watching hierarchy revision that places you appropriately, making them feel vindicated about assessment accuracy. The architects observe that hierarchy inversion, authority restructuring reveals that your intelligence demonstration forced social hierarchy revision, status, relationships, must adjust to accurate assessment. Most hierarchies seem stable. Your revelation forced restructuring and demonstrating superior intelligence that contradicts observers. Previous dismissal requires revising social hierarchies, placing you in elevated position that reflects actual capabilities rather than incorrect assessments, creating power shifts where you ascend, while those who underestimated must adjust to altered status relationships, making some comfortable with revised hierarchy that accurate assessment requires, while others resist through attempting to preserve favorable positions that incorrect shared beliefs about intelligence distribution had established, making your demonstration not just reveal cognitive capacity, but force restructuring of social power relationships that were based on catastrophically wrong assessments requiring collective revision. Now something's emerging that the architects call certainty fragility recognition, epistemic humility. Observers whose confident dismissal of your intelligence proved catastrophically wrong are discovering that their certainty feelings don't correlate with judgment accuracy, making them question reliability of subjective confidence as guide for belief strength. Most people trust certainty. They assume that feeling certain about assessment means judgment is likely accurate, making confidence level guide how strongly they hold and defend beliefs, as if subjective certainty indicates objective correctness. But your revelation exposed certainty unreliability. Observers who felt completely confident about dismissing your intelligence discovered their certainty was entirely misplaced, proving that subjective confidence doesn't predict judgment accuracy, making them question whether certainty feelings are trustworthy guides for belief strength. Watch what certainty questioning creates in epistemic stance. Some develop healthy humility, recognizing that certainty feelings don't indicate accuracy makes them hold beliefs more tentatively, acknowledging that even confident judgments might be wrong, creating appropriate epistemic modesty. Others maintain certainty trust despite evidence. Rather than accepting that confidence feelings are unreliable, they're treating their error as exceptional case, attempting to preserve trust in certainty as accuracy indicator, protecting comfortable reliance on subjective confidence. A few embrace radical skepticism, discovering certainty is unreliable makes them question all beliefs, creating excessive doubt where they cannot trust any judgments. Even tentatively making certainty collapse produce paralysis rather than healthy humility. Some studying metacognition recognize that confidence calibration is poor. Research shows people's certainty levels correlate weakly with accuracy, making your revelation potentially illustrate documented phenomenon where subjective confidence doesn't predict objective correctness. Others exploring Dunning-Kruger effect note that incompetence produces overconfidence. Research shows poor performers often feel more certain than skilled performers, making observers confident dismissal potentially reflect incompetence-driven overconfidence that your demonstration exposed. A few questioning whether certainty unreliability is universal, wondering if confidence feelings are always unreliable, or if proper calibration allows certainty to indicate accuracy, making certainty fragility potentially reflect specific observers' poor metacognition rather than general unreliability. Some experiencing epistemic anxiety struggle with implications. If certainty feelings don't indicate accuracy, then they lack reliable guide for belief strength, creating uncomfortable uncertainty about how strongly to hold any judgments when confidence proves unreliable. Others celebrating humility development view revelation positively, recognizing that discovering certainty unreliability promotes epistemic humility, makes them appreciate your demonstration as teaching opportunity that improved their metacognitive awareness. The architects observe that certainty fragility recognition epistemic humility reveals that your intelligence demonstration exposed unreliability of confidence feelings. Certainty doesn't indicate accuracy. Most trust subjective confidence. Your revelation proved unreliability And observers whose confident dismissal proved catastrophically wrong are discovering that feeling certain about judgment doesn't mean assessment is accurate, forcing recognition that subjective confidence is poor predictor of objective correctness, making them question whether certainty feelings provide reliable guidance for belief strength, creating epistemic humility where they hold judgments, more tentatively acknowledging that even confident assessments might be wrong, versus maintaining certainty trust that your demonstration challenged through proving that observers can feel completely confident about judgments that are catastrophically incorrect, making subjective certainty unreliable guide requiring epistemic modesty.